Today I fucked up by sneezing and triggering my gag reflex at a terrible time. Happened last night and I'm so amused and humiliated. My girlfriend is fine, no spinal damage and is still laughing at me. I'm a lesbian, and I was strapped up and going to town on my girlfriend in the classic doggy style anal position. I pause for a moment to give her a break and suddenly sneeze all over her exposed ass/vagina. I open my mouth to laugh/apologize and oh dear. The sudden sneeze triggers my gag reflex, and while I almost turned enough to avoid hitting her, I'm not quite successful. She goes from recovering from epic anal orgasms to having her spine jarred by my sneeze to being slightly covered in vomit in about a 5 seconds window. I have the girl equivalent of blue balls and a fun story to tell at parties. Rolling eyes face. TLDR, sexy times with my girlfriend has more body fluids than intended. There's a thing women can get called lightning vagina that's pretty fucking terrible too. Biology is weird. Not heard of this and I'm afraid to Google it. Care to explain? Fun story, whoopsie lol, but blue balls can feel like being kicked in the balls. Not being super frustrated and needing an orgasm. Edit. Why downvoted for describing a physical feeling? I've never heard it used that way, but I'm happy to defer to the dickhaver in this case as you would know better than I. I think the term is blue waffle, don't know what that relates to vaginas. I would say blue taco lol. You know it's a good sneeze if you fuck your back. Sneemated while begging your GF, good times. Good times. At least you're able to have a giggle about it, and you don't have to worry about the gag reflex under normal sex conditions, mostly. Which is a good thing, cause I'm one of those people who gags when I brush my teeth. Today I fucked up by putting my Xbox in the microwave. This happened back around 2009 when I was a gullible dumbass high school student. Around 2009, I was given an Xbox 360 but it was used and had issues with it. The issue it was having was that it had sound, but no picture, as well as the red ring of death thing where 3 of the segments would light up red when it was turned on. It was a well-known fault of the 360s early on, and sadly, the window for the extended warranty for this problem had just lapsed. I couldn't afford to get it fixed either, so I tried it myself. The first thing I tried after some googling was the towel trick, where you power the console on and wrap towels around it while it's left on. The thought was that, since the red issue was caused by the solder joints cracking due to the console overheating, it would heat up those joints and resolder them. And it worked. The red lights went away and the console had a picture again. I went to GameStop and bought some games and enjoyed playing it. It was awesome. Until it wasn't. A couple months later the red came back and the console went back to having no picture. I tried the towel trick again multiple times but to no real avail. It would work for a short time before dying again. Each time, it worked for shorter periods of time before it just stopped working altogether. I went back on Google and desperately searched for another way to fix it. I read that some users were finding success by taking the console apart and bending the X bracket that forced the chip onto the board. It made sense to me, so I bought a toolkit for electronics repairs and gave it a shot. Sadly, it didn't work for me. At this point, I started to get desperate. I also just happened to be a gullible teen, so even crazy solutions I found online started to sound reasonable to me. I was on some random forum online where someone mentioned that after doing the towel trick, they put their console in the freezer for a few hours to keep it cool and prevent those solder joints from re-cracking from the console overheating. Sounds reasonable. At the time I didn't know what a troll was online and honestly thought everyone on the forum was just trying to be helpful. So I tried it. I did the towel trick and then I stuck the console in the freezer and left it in there for 4 hours. I pulled it out of the freezer, plugged it in, and turned it on. No picture, but I heard the startup sound and it was fully powered on surprisingly. I stuck my hand behind the rear exhaust fan and it felt like an air conditioner. Looking back, I have no idea why that didn't kill the console completely, but it didn't. I was getting very desperate and very gullible at this point. I was practically pulling my hair out. I went back onto the forum and someone had mentioned a trick that I hadn't heard of yet. putting it in the microwave. Why on earth did this even seem logical? Well, the reasoning that they gave was that by heating it up in the microwave it would heat up the cracked solder joints even more than the towel trick and would finally fix the issue for those that the towel trick didn't work for. Sounds reasonable. Yes, I stuck it in the microwave. I put it in for 10 seconds as that's what was recommended. I watched the digital display on the microwave countdown. 010, 009, 008, 007. Pow. Immediately stopped the microwave. What went wrong? I wondered to myself. I pulled it out and plugged it in and hit the power button. Silence. Nothing happened. No fans spinning. No lights. Nothing. I decided to take it apart again to see if I could find out what happened. Upon taking it apart, I noticed a very dark black burn mark on a small circuit board that attached to the front of the console. It was dead. For good. Too long didn't read. I tried to fix an Xbox 360 with the RID by gullibly listening to online trolls who told me to put it in the microwave to fix it. It didn't fix it, it killed it. F. You remind me of a guy I used to work with in a kitchen. His first day we sent him to the basement to get us a bucket of steam. Dude was gone for like 10 minutes. Damn, did you also look for the pool on the roof in high school? If anyone experiences this problem in the future, it is caused by the thermal paste between the heat sink and the GPU separating. It's essentially a defense mechanism to prevent the Xbox from running without any way to dissipate heat, which will irreversibly destroy it. Also, putting it in a microwave will do this. You can purchase some thermal paste on the internets. Take apart your Xbox and reapply it between the heatsink and the GPU. We did this in college and it worked. I forgot that I tried that method as well. Bought some Arctic silver and it didn't help anything, so I guess YMMV with that one. Yeah, microwave is a bad idea, but a conventional oven works for just the circuit board. Same idea as the towel trick to reflow the solder joints. Bake at 160 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes, just make sure to have all the chips facing up, otherwise they'll all fall out and you'll have a bad day. I've heard of people fixing old graphics cards by doing that. Today I fucked up. Humorous car conversation gets awkward fast. Full disclosure, this did happen some time ago but is too good not to share. It starts with my wife of many years and her obsession with big dogs. She loves the damn things, the bigger the better. Although we have an average suburban 322 house with the average, not much, suburban backyard, I eventually relented and we got a big, derpy golden retriever. All was fine except for her insistence on getting the dog a partner. We simply don't have enough space for another big dog, but she would continue to press. The today I fucked up part happened one afternoon while driving around town running errands. We saw a couple on the sidewalk with two big black labs. Obviously that was followed with C. He let her have two large dogs. Being one with a tendency to talk first/think later, my response was quick and concise. True, and I'll bet she still gives her husband blowjobs too. I mean, what else was I supposed to say? Regardless, I learned two important lessons that day. 1. Always buy a comfortable couch. 2. Don't forget when your father-in-law is in the back seat getting a ride to his doctor's appointment when having a casual conversation with his daughter. Thank God he's practically deaf. TL, doctor, I forgot my brain-to-mouth filter at a potentially inappropriate moment. LMFAO, this means as soon as you get a BJ the new dog is a promise. 100%. Dude, I hope this isn't true for your peepee's sake. If she sent you to the couch for that comment, you have more problems than BJ's. She didn't. I added a bit of poetic license for the sake of an otherwise true story. Once she confirmed her father had no clue of what I said, she certainly found the humor in the comment. Wouldn't have married her otherwise. So did you get the second dog and the no and nope? Oof, big oof.